4,000 years ago, one country on Earth made it illegal to kill a cat. Not illegal like a fine. Not illegal like a warning. Illegal like they would execute you for it. A full death sentence for killing a cat. And people accepted this law. They followed it. They mourned when their cats died. They shaved their eyebrows off as a sign of grief. They wrapped their cats in linen, placed food beside them, and buried them like family. This was not a small village with strange customs. This was ancient Egypt, the most powerful civilization on Earth at the time. An empire that built pyramids, commanded armies, and controlled trade across 3 continents. And at the center of all that power, quietly without asking, sat a small striped animal that had walked out of the desert maybe a century earlier. Nobody invited it. Nobody trained it. It simply showed up. And somehow, an entire empire bent around it. 10,000 years ago, no cat lived with humans, not one. Today, there are over 600 million domestic cats on Earth. That number is bigger than the entire human population of North America and South America combined. No other predator has ever spread this far, this fast, across the entire planet. And it all started in the desert. The African wildcat, Felis libica, was prowling the grasslands of the Fertile Crescent long before any human built a wall or planted a seed. It was a small, striped, patient hunter. It had golden eyes. It moved without sound. And it was waiting, though it did not know it yet, for the moment that would change its entire species forever. That moment arrived around 10,000 BC. Humans learned to farm. Think about what farming actually creates. Fields of grain. And fields of grain attract rats. Rats attract snakes. And suddenly, you have a problem that every early farmer shared. Your entire food supply is being eaten alive before you can harvest it. One bad rat season could mean starvation. This was not a minor issue. This was life and death. And then a small striped cat walked out of the wild and started killing rats. Nobody trained it. Nobody called it. Nobody even invited it. The cat simply noticed that human settlements were packed with prey, rodents, birds, snakes, all drawn to the grain. The humans noticed that the cat was eliminating their biggest threat, and a deal was made without a single word being spoken. This is called commensal domestication. It means 2 species began to benefit each other without either one fully changing. The cat kept its wild instincts. The human kept their grain. Both survived better together than apart. But here is the part that rewrites everything you thought you knew about who was in charge. The cat chose this, not the human. Every other domestic animal, the dog, the horse, the cow, the goat, was captured, bred selectively, and changed on purpose by humans over many generations. The cat domesticated itself. It approached the human. It made the calculation. It stayed. Your cat is not a tamed animal. It is a wild predator that ran a 10,000-year strategy and won. Now enter ancient Egypt, roughly 4,000 years ago. Nowhere else on Earth did the relationship between human and cat become what it became along the banks of the Nile. Egypt was, at its core, a grain civilization. The Nile flooded every year, left rich black soil, and produced enormous harvests of wheat and barley. These harvests were stored in massive warehouses, and every warehouse in the ancient world had rats. Egypt's grain was the economic engine of an entire empire. Protecting it was not optional. But notice how quickly the Egyptians went further than usefulness. They did not just tolerate the cat, they elevated it. Within a few centuries, the cat had moved from pest controller to protected animal to sacred being. The goddess Bastet was depicted with the head of a cat. She represented protection, fertility, and the home. She was one of the most widely worshipped deities in all of Egypt. People wore amulets carved in her shape. Temples were dedicated to her. Hundreds of thousands of pilgrims traveled to her city of Bubastis each year for her festival. The city itself was built, in part to honor an animal that had never once asked to be worshipped. And here is something that stops you cold when you first hear it. Killing a cat in ancient Egypt, even by accident, was punishable by death. Not a fine, not exile, death. An entire civilization built laws around the protection of one animal. The cat had gone from wild predator to living god in just a few thousand years. When a family cat died in ancient Egypt, the whole household would go into mourning. They would shave their eyebrows as a sign of grief. The cat would be wrapped carefully and buried, sometimes with small offerings of food and toys left for its journey. Cat cemeteries have been found across Egypt containing hundreds of thousands of mummified cats. But how did a desert animal end up on every continent? Egypt had something the ancient world desperately wanted: trade routes. Egypt sat at the center of commerce connecting Africa, the Middle East, and the Mediterranean. Ships came and went constantly, and on every ship there were rats. Rats that ate rope, wood, and cargo. Rats that carried disease. Egyptian trading partners saw the cats. They wanted them. Egypt, for a long time, actually banned the export of cats. They considered them national treasures. But like all things that are banned, cats found a way out. Phoenician traders, the greatest sailors of the ancient world, are believed to have smuggled cats aboard their ships. Over time, cats spread to Greece, to Rome, to the rest of Europe, and eventually, following human migration and exploration routes, across the entire world. The Romans were practical about it. They used cats in granaries, military camps, and trade ships. Wherever Rome expanded, cats followed, and wherever cats went, they stayed. Because cats are exceptional at making themselves useful just long enough to become impossible to remove. By the Middle Ages, cats had reached every corner of Europe. They lived in monasteries, protecting manuscripts from mice. They sailed on Viking ships. They walked the Silk Road. Every civilization that stored food eventually had cats guarding it. The cat had conquered the world without an army, without a plan, and without ever losing its wildness. Now consider what lives inside your cat today. Domestic cats share almost 95% of their DNA with tigers. Their hunting instincts are fully intact. They stalk, pounce, and kill exactly as their ancestors did in the African grasslands. A house cat fed twice a day will still hunt if given the chance, not because it is hungry, but because the drive is hardwired into every cell. Their senses are built for ambush. A cat's hearing can detect frequencies twice as high as a human can register. Their night vision works in light conditions 6 times dimmer than what humans need to see. Their whiskers detect tiny changes in air pressure, sensing movement that their eyes have not even registered yet. Watch a cat before it pounces. The body goes completely still. The eyes lock. The hindquarters shift, micro-adjustment by micro-adjustment, loading energy like a coiled spring. The tail tip flicks once. Scientists now believe that flick is the body suppressing itself, holding back the strike until the geometry is perfect. A cat does not hope to catch something. It already knows it will. Their paws are silent, because the underside is padded with thick, shock-absorbing tissue. They retract their claws while walking, so they never click against the ground. Their spine is unusually flexible, allowing a running cat to place its back feet exactly where its front feet just landed, minimizing noise, maximizing control. Every part of this body was built, over millions of years, for one single purpose: to be the last thing something small ever sees. But this incredible survivor is now facing pressures it was never built to handle. Free-roaming domestic cats kill between 1.3 and 4 billion birds every year in the United States alone. That number comes from scientific studies, and it is not a small problem. In island ecosystems, places like New Zealand, Hawaii, and many Pacific islands, cats introduced by humans have driven native species to extinction. Animals that evolved in places without predators had no defense against a creature this skilled. There is a particular tragedy in that. These island birds never learned to fear a cat. Their world had no such predator. When cats arrived, carried in on human ships, those birds had no instinct to run, no behavior to protect them. Some species were gone within decades. At the same time, feral cat populations, cats that have gone wild again, face severe hardship. They live short, difficult lives. Disease, exposure, starvation, and territorial conflict take enormous tolls. The same resilience that made the cat a global success story becomes a source of suffering when the environment cannot support them. Feral cats rarely live beyond 5 years. Indoor domestic cats can live 18 or more. The cat's body is built for hunting. It is not built for the cruelties of a world shaped by humans, speeding cars, disease, poison, cold. Conservation programs are trying to find the balance. Trap, neuter, and return efforts help slow feral population growth. Island biosecurity programs work to remove cats from sensitive habitats before more species disappear. The cat is both a conservation crisis and a beloved companion. Both things are true at the same time. And the science of cat behavior is only now catching up with what people who live with cats have always sensed, that the relationship runs deeper than we assumed. Recent studies show that cats form real attachments to specific humans. They distinguish their owner's voice from a stranger's. They read your emotional state. When you are distressed, your cat notices. What it does with that information depends entirely on the cat, which is honestly the most cat thing possible. They are not indifferent. They are selective. They were wild once. They are still wild, in every way that matters. But somewhere in 10,000 years of living beside us, something shifted. Not taming, not dependency, something more like a quiet decision, repeated generation after generation, to stay, to find the edges of our warmth and live there, to let us name them, feed them, believe we own them, while never surrendering the part of themselves that belongs to the wild. 10 millennia of living together, and the cat still holds something back. Maybe that is exactly why we are still watching them.